Hello, hello, hello. I'm Vivian McGrath from vivianmcgrath.com, and I want to talk about the 8 signs of a perfect relationship. I get asked this all the time, and a woman I was talking to the other day, when I asked her what her dream life looks like, she described in her words the Disney type relationship that she was really dreaming of, with an equal partner with whom she could feel safe, protected, and happy. But I know this is fiction, she said. It doesn't exist. And I said, you know what? I'm here to tell you it is. It does exist. It absolutely does exist. And I'm proof of that. And absolutely, it is possible to have a perfect relationship. Well, sorry, it is possible to have a perfect relationship. Well, if not, then at least a very, very balanced, healthy one. But it's only possible if you are a healthy adult within you to start with. So I want to talk more about this. And how do I know this? Because I have had both of these types of relationships, and this is what I know. My first marriage was a toxic relationship with a controlling, narcissistic man who was violent towards me, and I almost lost my life to him. But my second marriage, I've just celebrated our 33rd wedding anniversary. We got married at about 5 years old. I'm joking. That just makes me feel so old. My 33rd wedding anniversary. To my second husband, who is strong, supportive, nurturing, kind, loving, funny, and the best friend I could ever have. And honestly, there's not enough adjectives that I could use to describe how just beautiful that man is. And our relationship, I really describe it as effortless. And we're forever told by friends, people I know, how lucky we are. And believe me, I know I am. And sorry, I'm just having some water. And yes, we are so lucky that we have this relationship. But the difference between these two relationships, which are so extreme, the very violent one in which I almost lost my life, and the one in which I'm just so blissfully happy with my best friend, I'm the common denominator. So it didn't come down to chance or luck. It came down to me. It is within your power to find the perfect relationship. Like attracts like. When I found the courage to finally leave my abusive ex, I thought I was really strong, and I thought that I had very high self-esteem. But I was really shocked to find that that wasn't the truth. Inside me was a very frightened, insecure little girl who never felt good enough. She didn't think she was worthy of anything better than a man that treated her badly and who was unavailable to her. She thought she had to do more and prove and gain his love. And that little girl inside me was so needy and so low in self-esteem and so insecure that I was never going to attract the type of person with whom I could have a very healthy adult relationship. Because if you're a needy, insecure child, you might attract someone who is strict, dominating, like a controlling parent, or a nurturing parent who wants to rescue you, fix you, look after you, but still control you in a way. Or vice versa, if you're the sort of person who naturally goes into the parenting role, you might want to rescue and nurture and attract needy, a needy child, a needy, insecure child that you need to rescue and fix in a relationship. But neither of those are healthy adult relationships. And there's no way they're ever going to lead to long-term happiness. You know, if one is dominating, one is the needy child, and vice versa. And sometimes you swap between the two in the relationship, especially when you go around that cycle, that toxic cycle in a relationship where one is in control, then the other, then the other, then the other. Does that make sense? Until you fill that hole inside you with an abundant well of self-love and self-worth, and know that you are good enough and deserve a healthy relationship, a healthy adult relationship, then you will keep attracting those types that lead you into really unbalanced ones. The one in which you try and rescue someone damaged, or they try and dominate and control you. So first, I had to be still within myself, recover and heal, build my self-esteem first before I even considered dating again. Because when you're dating, when you're insecure, or dating too soon, when you're still needy and insecure and lonely, you attract the wrong type of partner. You have to be whole within yourself first. So if you're like that woman, wondering, will I ever find love? Does true love even exist? Is there even such a thing as that Disney type love and happy ending? Yes, you will. Yes, it does. Yes, it's all possible. And I'm going to tell you now the eight signs of a perfect relationship. So I hope these are going to be helpful for you. I've got Christina Rubin on the line. Thank you for joining me, guys. You say only when... Sorry, I'm not understanding what the question is there. Oh, Ruben is saying, I was married to an extremely toxic woman. I'm hoping to find a normal woman partner. Okay, well, listen up, because these are the 8 signs of what I call my perfect relationship. One is that you trust each other. Nothing is hidden. You can be honest with each other. You can be vulnerable without fear. Have total trust that if you reveal any weaknesses and flaws, they will never use them as a weapon against you to hurt you. And the more vulnerability that you share, the greater the trust builds between you. And that is how you forge a deep connection, because with time, and I know this, I've had 33 years with my beautiful man. Over time, as you forge that deep connection and allow yourselves to be vulnerable together, open up, build that trust, that's how love absolutely grows and lasts and goes the distance. So it has to be with somebody that you can absolutely trust. The second is your happiness doesn't depend on each other. And I really learned that the hard way, because when you're in an emotionally abusive relationship, a toxic relationship, my happiness depended on my ex's moods and behavior. And oh my gosh, it was like the worst roller coaster from hell. My highs were euphoric when he was available to me, telling me he loved me, that he needed me, etc., etc. And the lows when he would withdraw and really dent my self-esteem and abuse me, I just crashed. So it was euphoric highs, then crashing, euphoric highs and crashing. And if I had little self-esteem, well, by the end of that, it was completely crushed. Because abusive relationships, they don't even have to be physically violent ones like mine. Just unavailable relationships, toxic ones, emotionally abusive ones are codependent ones. Two insecure people who are both looking to the other to make them happy. And that's not a recipe for true love. If you're looking to another insecure person to make you feel happy, they're so insecure, how can they possibly make you happy when they can't find happiness within themselves? And vice versa. It's a recipe for unhappiness, and it's never a love that's going to last. When your happiness depends on other people, when you place your happiness in the hands of somebody else, you're hostage to them. You've given away all your power. And that's when you feel like your life is completely out of control. And you go on that roller coaster ride because your happiness is depending on them, you know? Does that make sense? Only when I filled that void of not feeling worthy and was happy within could I find someone who treated me as worthy as well, because I wasn't looking to them to fill me. So they saw a happy, whole person. And then I also started to attract, I attracted only healthy, happy people to me that didn't need me to fill the void in them either. I had to find that love within me first and find happiness within first. Unless I did, I would have absolutely gone on to repeat the pattern and find myself in another dysfunctional, unhealthy, miserable relationship. In healthy relationships, you are absolutely complete as individuals and happy alone. Finding each other is just the bonus. It's just the icing on the cake. And, you know, my husband and I, we don't need each other. We're happy within first. I don't need him to make me feel good about myself, and he doesn't either. But together, as a team, we're formidable because together, the sum of the parts make an even greater whole together. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that you can let each other go. You know, you don't play games. You don't need to. There's no need to control. And if you don't have a need to control somebody else, if you're secure within yourself first, you don't feel threatened to let each other go. You don't fear that they're going to abandon you. You don't feel clingy and needy and have to have them in your sight, or you'll feel jealous or suspicious or insecure, you know, all those awful feelings that come up. There's no jealousy because you have complete trust. You can love each other unconditionally. So you're not afraid to let each other go, to live your life and let them live theirs in the best way they choose that makes them the happiest. So, for example, my husband and I have a lot in common. Our core values, our dreams, our goals are very, very, very much aligned. But we're also incredibly different. And I love that he has his boy time with his mates, going out cycling, going running, just having bloke time. I love that he has that. And that he does all these extreme, you know, ultra marathon type things, and he gets great joy out of that. And I love it because when he gets great joy out of the things he loves, then he comes back to me an even happier guy. I get the best of him, you know, and he doesn't mind if I go out for girly nights with friends. I don't even ask him. I just say, oh, by the way, on Thursday, I'm going out with all my girlfriends. Oh, how lovely. Have a brilliant time. That's the sort of healthy relationship I'm talking about. Because the 4th thing is you respect each other. You know, what this marriage has taught me is love is a verb. It's not a noun. It's not enough to tell someone you love them if your actions don't do the same. You know, my ex, people who are abusive are very good at saying everything you want to hear, but they never walk the talk. Their actions are actually the complete opposite to what they say. So that left his words as empty promises. But my husband's words and actions align. What he says is what he does. So he shows me respect. He treats me with kindness. in his actions as well as his words. You know, he says kind things, but then his actions are very kind as well. So I know, and that pays back into how I know I can trust him as well. Because if their actions align with their words, then you can trust that they're genuine. And we've had some really difficult times along the way. Of course, you know, life throws you curveballs. We've had some really tough times over the 33 years of our marriage. But what's always brought us back on track is just demonstrating our love, being kind, treating each other with respect, always. And that's not just with others. Not just with each other. You know, what's so beautiful, when I hear him talk to others about me, his face lights up. He's always proud of me, saying really nice things. And I do exactly the same. You know, my face lights up when I talk to other people about how amazing he is and how talented and how incredible. You know, so we have a huge amount of respect for each other. And that pays into the fifth one, which is you're happy when they're happy. You know, this is not the same as your happiness depending on them, by the way. It's completely different. But it means that if they are happy within themselves and strong, you don't feel threatened. You're delighted by it. You know, if a new promotion at work excites them, then you celebrate their success with them. You're delighted. You're happy that they are happy about it. And if others tell you how fabulous they look, you don't get jealous because you agree and think, how lucky am I? I'm the one who has him. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, my ex, any success or happiness that came my way, he just wanted to tear me down. He wanted to destroy it. He destroyed presents I was given for my birthday. I was given this beautiful dress that made me look amazing, and he tore it up. He wasn't happy when I was happy. You know, so that's a really important one. The sixth sign of a perfect, happy relationship is that your arguments are not psychological warfare. God, am I too old? Do you remember the film The War of the Roses? Oh my God, that was just like, talk about psychological warfare as this separating couple just threw barbs at each other and really tore each other down. Amazing movie, actually. Quite depressing. Totally the opposite to the relationship I've got. But, you know, the psychological warfare, it could be as much as, you know, I remember with my ex, I just walked on eggshells the whole time. He controlled me with silence. He controlled me with anger. He controlled me with the fear of physical violence. He controlled me with the threats of what he'd do if I'd leave him. You know, it was psychological warfare. And I never knew when he would lash out at me. So if you're experiencing like gaslighting, you'll know what I mean when I say arguments are like psychological warfare. And it should never be like that. In a healthy relationship, it's really safe to vent or get hangry, as we say, because we do both get a little bit hangry when we haven't eaten food, or just irritated with each other. You know, you can have differences of opinion, as you can always see the other person's point of view. It doesn't become something that you use as a weapon. And once the dust settles, after you get a little bit irritated with each other or whatever, then my husband and I are also able to own our behavior, and he and I can both apologize if we realize that we're in the wrong and we've gone too far. And it's been more about our own insecurities coming up and us lashing out, kicking the cat, I call it. And actually, to be honest, it's usually so out of character with us because we really rarely argue. In fact, we don't ever argue. We only ever have a little bit of irritation. It's so funny that we actually end up laughing our way out of it because it's just so stupid and so funny. seeing the other one go, meh, 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 meh. It's hilarious. Anyway, so if you're having any arguments that feel like psychological warfare, get out. That's not a healthy relationship. Because the seventh thing is that you are friends as well as lovers. You have a lot in common, and it was a really big revelation to me with my ex that I realized I loved him. Well, it was sort of a codependent, unhealthy addiction sort of love, but that's another story. But the moment I realized my relationship with my ex was not true love and not a healthy relationship, was I actually realized I didn't like him. And my husband now, I love him, yes, but I actually really like him. My ex and I did not have anything in common. We didn't have any goals, any beliefs, any dreams, we had so much uncommon. It's okay to be different, but when you have core values that are so fundamentally different and uncommon, it's very hard to have a relationship that last. But my husband and I now have strong friendship, and our core values, beliefs, and goals are aligned. So he brings out the best in me and I bring out the best in him. We're very strong on our own, but together we're formidable. And we have so much in common that it doesn't matter the ways in which we're different, because that's what cements us together. We really, really, really like each other's company, I hope this is making sense. The eighth and final one is that you're there for each other. Oh, Ruben just says, everything you're saying is so helpful and supportive. Thank you very much, Ruben. Hello from Spain. Hola, Zahara. Lovely to see you from Spain. Honestly, Barcelona is one of my favorite cities in the world. I had the most incredible time in Barcelona. So Giselle just says, wow. Thank you very much. I'm also conscious that I'm starting to melt and getting sweatier and sweatier by the minute. But excuse me, I live in Hong Kong and it is so humid right now. So I'll get on to the last one quickly. Number 8 is that you are there for each other, especially when the chips are down. I have this joke with my husband that he vowed not to love me in sickness and in health. He vowed to love me in sickness and in sickness, because I have such crap health with autoimmune issues that he has had, really, honestly, he's picked the short straw and got the brunt of my health. But, when I do have these issues, he is so strong for me. And it's more than that, we're there for each other no matter what. And there's times when I have needed him to be really strong for me. And there's times when he's not afraid to let me take the reins and be strong for him and give him strength. He's not afraid of, that's not masculine to be weak. He lets me be strong. And oh my gosh, I'm running out of battery now. So I really got to be quick. So there's moments when we've been under huge pressures and stress together, but we've supported each other, got through it, and came out even stronger. And the biggest difference in my relationship now to the toxic one with my abusive ex is really, it's effortless. I love that word. I'm not saying we've had to work at it. We have, of course. But when you're aligned with each other, have huge respect and unconditional love and like each other, it does feel that way. And I can't tell you how incredible that feels. Not to mention how nice it is to have someone to grow old with. Although I always say that I'm someone to grow old with. I'm not ready to put comfy slippers on yet. We are so going to go on more life adventures. I'm not talking about us as old people. But I love that we're growing old together. But we are so ready to go on our next life adventures together. So, will I ever find love? Will I ever find true love? A love like that? I hear you asking. Yes, yes, yes. It's never too late for love. So if you are tired of settling for less in toxic relationships and want to step into that healthy, confident adult relationship and person who is open to attracting and receiving the kind of love that is balanced and lasts like I have got, then do watch my free workshop, the simple 5-step relationship detox method to recover from toxic relationships, fall back in love with yourself, and never settle for less than you deserve again. Because I am now working with clients to show them how to do the same. And one of my clients she thought the guy she was in a relationship was toxic. She started trying to push him away. And I've just shown her that actually she was just frightened, and he is possibly the love of her life. And now she's really happy, and they just moved in together. So it is possible, and that's what I'm here for, to help show you the way. So I put the link to my webinar in the description below, and I hope to see you there. Bye for now, and thank you guys for joining me. Giselle, Zahara, Ruben, Christina, and everybody else who's here with me now. Bye for now. See you in my next video.